All right.
All right.
Here we are. Welcome back. This is a special episode again. We have another review.
Another special episode.
We have it.
Part 2.
Well, not part 2.
Part 2.
Episode 2.
Episode of our review of the smoker kit. A different smoker kit.
It's not episode. All right.
Let's start over again.
This is a episode that we're going to review another smoking kit.
Yes.
Okay.
Different one.
All right, fine.
Okay. Yeah, so another manufacturer reached out, and this is another product sold on Amazon. It's called the Inkbird Plus Smoking Kit.
Smoking gun.
Smoking gun, yes. But it's also a kit, so.
Smoking gun kit. Okay, reel it in.
As you can see, this one is a little different than the last one we did. The last one was specifically for cocktails, where this one's a little more comprehensive. It's got nice
Cloche.
cloche. It's got a dome for smoking dishes. It recommends when you smoke it, you do it for a few minutes. Let whatever you have under there smoke for a few minutes, whether that's a steak or whatever.
Yeah. Fish.
What have you.
Mm-hmm.
These are what they call
Cocktail cups.
We're not quite sure how we're going to handle these yet, but we're going to cross that when we get to it.
Yeah, so it looks like, obviously this thing kind of sits up nice and sturdy base. It's this big rubber
Gasket.
plug.
Yeah.
So this kind of goes right into the bottom. So, just first thoughts here. Looks like you would obviously smoke through the top here into it, which is kind of interesting because that's a different method than like a smoke top where you're just applying smoke to the surface. This one, it almost looks like it's going to kind of aerate it with the smoke. But it would appear that you kind of fill up the globe up to the point where it doesn't overflow and fall out. And then you put this guy on there, and then you turn it over and smoke it. And then where I think the confusion lies is how do you drink it out of this, or is it strictly a vessel for smoking something?
Right.
I don't know, maybe you can put a straw down through here. It'd be a little awkward to turn it over and take the bottom out and drink it out of it.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge. That is one thing that's a little bit lacking in the paperwork, or kind of instructions on how they, what they think you should use, or how they think you should use this.
Yeah, and then this is obviously used for smoking cocktails. Just put it right on top of your glass. Smoke it right down through there. The tool is pretty simple. The hose comes right off. There's a nozzle on the end that sticks onto it. This housing contains where the chips go. It's got a little wire mesh filter on here, and there's 2 more in there?
Yeah, so there's a little baggie here that gives you some tweezers, a brush, and a handful of additional mesh screens. So once that one kind of gets used up or burned up or damaged or whatever from cleaning it, you can swap that back out and they give you a few replacements.
Yeah, so it's a pretty simple design. You put the chips down in here, light them, and then you turn this on, and then the air passes through the smoke. Smoke goes out to wherever you need it to go. Very simple.
So again, a little bit different than some of the more traditional smoke tops, specifically designed for cocktails, where the pressure from your butane torch is pushing the smoke down through the chips and into the glass.
Yep.
This one here is relying more on a fan system to push that smoke through this tube and into whichever method of smoking we choose to use. Maybe a little bit more like kind of designed for like food applications.
Right. Yep.
But obviously you do have this guy right here. I think comprehensive is the right word.
Yeah.
You've got some things for cocktails, smoke tops here, so this will obviously fit on almost any size glass. You could smoke anything. And then this guy right here, if you're trying to smoke a dish.
Smoke a dish.
Smoke a dish. I mean, or bowl.
Now, it's not that kind of show. And there's obviously a hole to put the nozzle in here too.
Yeah.
So
There it
let's do
goes.
something. What kind of chips did they send with it?
Yeah, so the other thing that we didn't touch on, so they give you 6 different varieties of wood chips. So you have oak, pear, cherry, apple, hickory, and one that I don't think I've ever seen before is beech. Beech, beech. I don't know if I've ever seen that before in any kind of a smoking kit. I don't know that I've ever seen pear either, but oak, apple, hickory, and cherry I think are probably the 4 staples when it comes to smoking, at least for cocktail purposes.
Well, the pear kind of intrigues me.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and make something. I think, what are we going to do, Manhattan?
Yeah.
So we'll make a Manhattan project, and we will be back with you guys here momentarily, and we'll fire this guy up and see how it works. All right, stick around.
A few moments later.
All right, so kind of got some things situated here. So we're going to do our usual Manhattan setup. We've got this Sagamore barrel proof. We're going to do 2 ounces of.
Yeah, so normally we do a whole unboxing on this, but I kind of took it apart last night to make sure that we had everything we needed and we had some, at least somewhat specific instructions. It does need 4 AA batteries, which we didn't have, so I'm kind of glad I did that. So, yeah, so we're just kind of, not a full unboxing, but a full testing at least.
Okay, so I'm just looking at this here, just trying to think about how much volume I have and how much cocktail I'm putting in here. I don't want to stir and dilute this and then pour it in here and then potentially have it not be able to fit the whole thing.
Sure.
So I'm just going to take this guy with the ingredients without dilution, and I'm going to pour it into here. Okay.
By the way, we put all the fingerprints on this thing. It didn't come that way.
Yeah. It probably could have accommodated it being smoked. I don't mean being smoked, being diluted.
Right.
Okay. So now, turn that over. All right.
Yeah,
so
well, based on that, it's just about perfect. So
let's do this.
So probably no more than 4 ounces. That's 3 ounces.
That's 3 ounces. But at that point, it doesn't matter because when you do this, you kind of gain some headroom.
Turn it sideways. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. So let's. What do you want to use?
Pear.
Pear. Pear it is. Okay. So let's put a little bit of pear chips in there.
There are tweezers in that bag too. I'm assuming
There are.
You could use them.
You probably
if you wanted
could.
to, but
I wasn't trying to pick this out one chip at a time.
Sure.
All right. So the chips are a little bit more robust.
Yeah, they're chunky.
Okay. So let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. And get this up a little closer here. And let's fire it up.
It might be one that you need to turn it, get some.
Oh, so here's the problem. So as I'm trying to push this in there, it's creating pressure, which is pushing back on the chip, on the smoke that I'm trying to push in. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no relief. So this is this is quite interesting. I'm not really like.
So lift up the glass and see if we get a better result.
What do you mean lift it up?
I mean, put it up at an angle and see if.
It's not gonna matter.
The smoke is rising.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the smoke rising. When this is pushing it in there, you're adding pressure to the inside of this globe.
Right.
All right, let's turn this off. So when you push this in there, it's a sealed system.
Right.
As you push this smoke in there, you're increasing the pressure inside of here. There's no way for that built-up pressure to go, so you're not actually able to push the smoke inside the globe.
All right, so let's do this a different way. Let's turn it to the point that we can take the stopper out.
Well, we can definitely do it that way.
Yeah, put some smoke in there and then let it seep out once it's in.
Okay. So again, you know, I touched on this a little bit before, but really the only downside that I see kind of so far is that these globes aren't very, it's not very clear how they intend for these things to be used, and we're just trying to kind of
And they may be more like a novelty.
muddle through this. All right, go ahead.
We still have a little bit of smoke built up there.
The problem now is it's like, you know, if you're one person doing this, it's like, I got the thing in there.
I can help you out with the lighter, but
No, I understand, but like, you know, if I'm one person doing this, all right. So there you go. So now obviously we're getting plenty of smoke in there. Let's shut this off. Okay. Now let's seal it up like that, like so.
and once you turn it, you'll be able to see the smoke will come out.
Now we're just going to kind of swirl this guy around. Yeah, but I mean, it's again, now there's no pressure inside there pushing it out.
Right.
So it's not going to just come out. Like, swirl this thing around all you want, the smoke's not going to come out. All right, so if you really want to smoke the heck out of a cocktail, this is a way to do it. Once you get that smoke in there, I don't know if you can see here, but it's not coming out. If I blow across it, just thinking that might,
Right. Create some vacuum.
yeah, to suck it out. But again, you can't pull anything out of this because anything that you're trying to pull out there, it's pulling against the pressure on the inside and it won't come out.
Yeah.
So
it'd be great to have some instructions on what their idea of these cocktail cups are supposed to be or do, but
nonetheless,
it's something interesting.
it is. I don't know how realistic it is to use this thing very often. It seems kind of more of a task than anything else.
Right.
But anyway, so this thing is certainly smoked. So we're going to pour this back into our stirring glass. Okay. And I don't think there's any need to do any more smoking to that. That's nice. Let's do a little dilution.
So in the meantime, let me grab this plate with nothing on it, and we'll try, assuming you had food you wanted to smoke, in maybe a little bit bigger or smaller plate.
Yeah.
You would do that.
Well, we need to get the
I
thing in
know.
there.
Just getting going. So this is a much bigger vessel, so I don't think the back pressure is going to do much on this.
All right. Well, you also basically burn all the chips up.
I did or you did?
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't have done this right now.
It's all right. Do your thing. I got this. Yeah, you see with the plate, it's got plenty of air in there that it's not going to fill it with back pressure. And again, this is almost exactly the same size as this plate, but ideally you'd have a bigger plate or a quite a bit smaller plate. Yeah. Some ambiance.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's leave that smoked
Yeah.
thing over there for a minute. There we go. Just trying to get
And
that
that
out
gets
of
a
the
little hot, by the way.
way. Okay. So here we are. Now we have our smoked cocktail.
Smells smoked.
It does smell smoked. All right. Let's check it out. Tastes smoky.
Yeah.
So the nice thing about doing it that way, I mean, as kind of convoluted as that process is, you do get a more thorough,
Yeah.
you know, incorporation of the smoke into the drink.
Right. Which is when we normally do a smoke top, you're just getting basically the top part of the cocktail.
Yeah, and that's kind of why sometimes I'll hold it on there and swirl it around.
Right.
But, so anyway. All right.
Yeah, and this is self-explanatory enough. You just put that on top if you wanted to smoke it.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Bring that guy back on over here. So this is a more traditional method of smoking. Yeah, light it up for me. All right, you guys have all seen this type of smoke top type deal here. Give a little space there for the smoke to go. But again, if you really put a seal on here, you're not getting any smoke added in. So you got to leave a little room. All right, and then we'll turn that off. And then just kind of take it off. And there you go. So now you got a kind of smoked cocktail there. So.
Yeah, before I forget, down in the description there is a discount code for this product, and it's pretty severely discounted. It's like 40% off right now.
Yeah.
If you use that discount. So check it out down there. It's an Amazon product.
Ooh, that does get hot.
Yeah, link and discount code are in the description.
Yeah, so, overall, my impressions of this, it's a good system. I don't really see much real functionality with this. I do kind of think that this globe is a little bit more of a novelty than it is anything else.
Yeah.
If this were to have, like a hole. So think about it like this. You have those like Stanley coffee tumblers, right?
Right. Yep.
And you go to drink one. This happens to me at work all the time. You go to drink out of it, but that little vent hole at the top of the lid is plugged.
Right.
And it doesn't want to come out.
Yep.
And as soon as you kind of blow on it, pop the bubble that's in there, then it's free flowing.
Sure.
The problem here is that when you try to push that smoke in there, that pressure that you're adding in has nowhere to go.
Right.
So you can only push but so hard.
Right.
If they had some kind of relief valve here, again, I don't know how they intend for this to be used.
Right.
So I'm just talking about this based off of my thoughts.
Right.
I don't really see this being a vessel that you drink out of. It's just a little...
It's awkward.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
You got to hold it the whole time because, what are you going to do? Set it down and it's going to roll around.
Right.
So any drink that you put in here is going to get warm quickly because of that.
Yeah, so if any of you out there have seen this before and have a better use or idea of what this should be used for with this kit, please let us know, because, again, there's no instructions and we weren't going to kind of seek it out in this case.
I don't know. So, that's kind of my thoughts on that one. I see this being a little bit more of a novelty than anything, than really a functional smoking apparatus.
Right.
This, perfectly fine. Even if you have a plate that's too big for that, as long as it covers the food that you're trying to smoke.
Still smoke in there.
Yeah, it's good.
Perfectly sealed.
Yeah, so I could see doing like some, some kind of fish and smoking it, or...
If you don't want to actually smoke a salmon, you could just get the smoked flavor in there without the process.
So yeah, that's that. This smoke top right here, again, very straightforward. The nozzle fits in there nice and cleanly, goes right on top of your glass. This will fit all sorts of kinds of glasses. We're using a double rocks glass here, and this thing has plenty of space of overhang.
And
so
again,
you can
this is
definitely fit
just a
anything.
very comprehensive thing. It's got, cocktail smoker and plate smoker. You got everything you need, for your kitchen or your bar to smoke something.
Exactly. So if you're looking for something that you can do both of those things, kind of go to the kitchen side, do the food aspect, you got the cover, do the cocktail side of things. Again, I probably don't think I would ever use these. Just my own personal opinion based on that design.
Somebody might.
And then you've got the smoke top. Cover your cocktail, smoke your cocktail. A couple replacement pieces here. The smoker itself works
Works good.
Works really well.
Yeah.
And then the 6 different varieties of woods that they give you,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, all in all, I think it's a good kit. Little unnecessary. Those 2 items are great. Smoker's great. Good selection of wood. And I'd recommend it, especially for the price.
Yeah. It's a great price especially based on that discount code.
Yeah, but check out the links down in the description.
Inkbird Plus Smoking Gun.
Inkbird Plus Smoking Gun.
And we are out.
Okay, bye.
Bye.